Hello，各位同学，大家好，欢迎来到日常对话应用实战进阶班的第4堂课。我是严燕珍老师。今天我们将进行实战模拟与角色扮演，帮助大家能够在真实的场景中灵活运用英文对话技巧。Are you ready? Let's get started. 首先，第一个部分是有关顾客服务情境模拟。我想先询问一下同学，你们有遇过一些游客想要询问有关产品的问题吗？还是说有遇到任何游客喜欢抱怨呢？首先，我们来看看顾客服务的常见场景。在与顾客互动中，如何用恰当的语言来解决问题、回答问题，甚至处理顾客抱怨，都是非常重要的技能。接下来，我会带大家来看几个示范场景，然后进行角色扮演的练习哦。让我们一起开始吧。第一个，我们来看一下游客询问特色产品。Visitor 游客，他问说 "What's special about this tofu pudding?" Vendor 摊商回答 "It's topped with fresh seasonal fruits and drizzled with honey syrup." 同学可以练习一下哦。It's topped with fresh seasonal fruits and drizzled with honey syrup. 接着我们来看一下游客抱怨的部分。Visitor 游客，他说 "This isn't what I expected. It's too salty." Vendor 摊商回答 "I'm sorry about that. Let me recommend another dish for you." 同学练习一次看看。I'm sorry about that. Let me recommend another dish for you. 好，接下来我们做一个步骤解析。当游客来的时候呢，我们必须要主动的去迎接游客。那这时候你可以说 "Hi there, welcome to our stall. How can I assist you today?" 第二步骤呢，就是提供一个解决方案，像是 "Let me find something that suits your taste better." 那最后呢，我们要怎么讲？就是表达感谢。Thank you for letting us know. We will improve our service. 好的，那接下来就是同学角色扮演时间咯。首先，第一个情境就是顾客抱怨食物的口感。那我们来看一下对话的示范。Visitor 游客，他说 "This isn't what I expected. It's too salty." Vendor 回答 "I'm sorry about that. Let me recommend another dish for you." 同学要多练习几次哦。Hi there, welcome to our stall. How can I assist you today? Let me find something that suits your taste better. Thank you for letting us know. We will improve our service. 好的，那老师这边有提供3个评估框架，来让同学去自我检查一下自己的学习成效。 第一个流畅度，也就是说语句是否自然且清晰；第二个礼貌性，意思就是语气是否友好且有礼貌；第三个就是创意性，回答是否能引起顾客的兴趣。透过刚才的练习，我们学会了在顾客服务中用礼貌和专业的方式去解决问题。接下来，我们重点放在销售技巧上，看看如何让顾客对你的产品产生兴趣，并促成购买。这部分是行销技巧的模拟实践。接着，我们进入销售技巧的练习环节喽。销售的关键呢，在于用吸引人的语言来介绍产品的特色和价值。同时，面对顾客的疑虑，我们也需要准备好灵活的应对。现在，我们来看一下一个实例。Visitor 游客他问说 ：“What do you recommend？” Vendor 摊商回复说：“Can't miss our oyster omelette. It's crispy on the outside, tender inside, and packed with the freshness of oysters.” 同学一起练习看看哦。What do you recommend? Can't miss our oyster omelette. It's crispy on the outside, tender inside, and packed with the freshness of oysters. 第二个部分是即兴销售练习。For example, this is a traditional Taiwanese steamed spring roll filled with peanut powder, preserved radish, stir-fried dry tofu, crispy fried pork, parsley, bean sprouts, and the most important ingredient, curry, flavored cabbage. There are more than 10 different fillings, giving you a variety of flavors in every bite. 这句话虽然比较长，但同学可以多加练习一下。我相信同学从这句话当中呢，可以学习到很多个单字。好，那同学一起练习看看哦。This is a traditional Taiwanese steamed spring roll, filled with peanut powder, preserved radish, stir-fried dry tofu, crispy fried pork, parsley, bean sprouts, and the most important ingredient, curry, flavored cabbage. There are more than 10 different fillings, giving you a variety of flavors in every bite. 接下来就要请同学一起来想象一下，你正在夜市卖润饼，试着强调它的新鲜食材和传统制作方式。同学可以先暂停影片，试着创造属于你的销售话术吧。好的，那接下来我们要来自我评估一下喽。我们来看看第一点，吸引力。想一下，你的话术是否让顾客对产品产生兴趣？第二点就是描述性，是否清楚描述润饼的材料和风味呢？第三点就是你的语气，是否使用亲切且热情的语气？ 老师这边也建议同学可以录下自己推销的语句，并多次练习，直到满意为止哦。接下来我们要看一下处理拒绝情况。当同学们遇到一些游客，他们可能不确定他们是否喜欢这样小吃，那你要怎么回答呢？我们来看一下例句。Visitor 游客他问说 "I'm not sure if I'll like it." Vendor 摊商的回复 "How about a small portion to try first?" 我们再练习一次哦。I'm not sure if I like it. How about a small portion to try first? 这是一个蛮好的方式去反问游客，看是否他们要先从小份的开始试试看。刚才的销售话术练习呢，帮助我们了解如何用生动的语言推销产品。现在我们将进一步学习如何在跨文化的情境中调整一下自己的表达方式，为不同文化背景的顾客提供贴心的服务。接着我们来看模拟跨文化对话与互动。第一个是有关文化情境。首先呢，我们来看一下场景一。中东文化，在服务不同文化背景的顾客时，我们可能要先去了解文化差异，并调整表达方式是非常重要的。接下来我们会透过一些情境示范，探索中东、欧美和日本文化的特点，并学习如何用适合的语气和句子与这些顾客能够互动起来。我们一起来看看吧。在中东文化中，清真饮食非常重要，因此呢，回答问题时也需要特别注重诚恳和专业的表达。接下来是情境示范。Visitor 游客他说 "Is this dish halal?" Vendor 摊商回答说 "Yes, it's halal certified. We ensure all our ingredients meet halal requirements. If you like, I can explain more about the preparation process." 好，这里我们可以看到摊商呢，他跟中东来的游客去做了一个解释。然后也跟他们确认说，这道食物是清真认证的。那这里呢，我也强调了食材的认证，并提供进一步的资讯，展现了对顾客需求的尊重与专业态度。接着我们看场景二，是欧美文化。大家都知道，欧美游客通常偏好直接简单的回答。同时对产品的故事和特色特别感兴趣。那以下是我们模拟对话的示范。Visitor 游客 "Is this dish halal?" 我们同样是针对清真食物来做一个模拟。来看欧美游客他是喜欢得到什么样的回答呢？ Vendor 摊商说 "Absolutely, it's halal."And also one of our best sellers. This dish highlights authentic Taiwanese flavors, and customers love this unique taste. 我们可以看到，在这段的对话中，我简单回答是，并强调了产品的受欢迎程度和它的独特性，而且用热情的语气去吸引顾客的兴趣。好，接着是场景三，也就是要进入我们日本文化了。在日本文化中，顾客期望得到有礼貌且间接的回应，因此 表达时必须要更加谨慎和周到。接下来是我们模拟对话的示范。Visitor 游客他说 Is this dish halal? Vendor 摊商回答 Yes, this dish is prepared in line with halal requirements. I hope it meets your expectations. If you have other preferences, feel free to let me know. 我们可以看得出来，这段回答避免了过于直接的语气，并加入了有礼貌的表达方式，让顾客感受到贴心和尊重。好的，那接下来就是同学练习的时间咯。请同学模拟与不同文化背景的顾客互动，根据情境设计对话。以下练习步骤是：第一个，选择一个文化背景。同学可以选择中东、欧美、日本或其他国家的文化。步骤二，设计适合该文化的回应。例如，中东强调清真认证与准备过程，而欧美喜欢直率地描述产品特色并展现热情。日本喜欢有礼貌且间接地提供详细资讯。步骤三，用简单的句子练习说话，并录下你的回答，以进行自我评估。最后，我们来看看范例对话，并用这些问题检视你的表现哦。自评问题一：语气是否符合该文化的背景呢？问题二：回应是否清楚且符合顾客需求？问题三：是否展现对文化尊重与理解？好，那我这边有提供一个范例对话，可以让同学参考。第一个中东文化的部分 ，Visitor 游客他问说 ，Does this contain pork? Vendor 摊商回复说 ，No, we don't use pork in any of our dishes. This is fully halal certified. 如果你选择欧美文化，可以参考以下这个对话。Visitor 游客他问说 ，Why should I try this dish? Vendor 摊商他回复 ，This is a unique Taiwanese dish with sweet and savory flavors. It's a must-try for food lovers. 接着是日本文化。Visitor 游客他问说 ，Do you have vegetarian options? Vendor 摊商回复 ，Yes, we have a vegetarian spring roll with fresh vegetables and tofu. Would you like to try it? 好的，透过刚才的跨文化对话练习，相信大家已经掌握了不同文化背景中灵活调整语气和用词的方法。
Excuse me, does this dish contain peanuts? I have a peanut allergy. No worries. This dish is peanut-free. However, some ingredients are prepared in the same kitchen as dishes that contain peanuts. Would you like me to recommend something completely nut-free? Yes, please. That would be great. Our fresh fruit jelly is a great option. It's made with natural ingredients and contains no allergens. That sounds perfect. I'll take one. Great choice. That'll be 80 NTD. Enjoy. The visitor is allergic to dairy products. The vendor guarantees that the dish is 100% peanut-free. The vendor offers a completely nut-free alternative. The visitor chooses to buy fresh fruit jelly. The fresh fruit jelly costs 100 NTD. Excuse me, does this dish contain peanuts? I have a peanut allergy. No worries. This dish is peanut-free. However, some ingredients are prepared in the same kitchen as dishes that contain peanuts. Would you like me to recommend something completely nut-free? Yes, please. That would be great. Our fresh fruit jelly is a great option. It's made with natural ingredients and contains no allergens. That sounds perfect. I'll take one. Great choice. That'll be 80 NTD. Enjoy. I thought this was supposed to be crispy, but it's quite soft. I'm sorry about that. The humidity today might have affected the texture. Would you like to try our freshly fried batch instead? Yes, that sounds better. I'll prepare a fresh one for you right away. Thank you for your patience. No problem. I appreciate the great service. We appreciate your feedback. Enjoy your meal. The visitor thinks the food is too spicy. The vendor explains that the humidity may have affected the texture. The vendor refuses to offer a replacement. The visitor agrees to try the freshly fried batch. The visitor is unhappy with the vendor's service. I thought this was supposed to be crispy, but it's quite soft. I'm sorry about that. The humidity today might have affected the texture. Would you like to try our freshly fried batch instead? Yes, that sounds better. I'll prepare a fresh one for you right away. Thank you for your patience. No problem. I appreciate the great service. We appreciate your feedback. Enjoy your meal. Hi there. Welcome to our stall. What would you like to order? Hi, I'd like to order a beef noodle soup, but can I change the cilantro to green onions? Sure. We can replace the cilantro with green onions. Would you like anything else? That's great. I'll also take an extra egg, please. No problem. That'll be 150 NTD in total. Here's your order. Enjoy your meal. Hi there. Welcome to our stall. What would you like to order? Hi, I'd like to order a beef noodle soup, but can I change the cilantro to green onions? Sure. We can replace the cilantro with green onions. Would you like anything else? That's great. I'll also take an extra egg, please. No problem. That'll be 150 NTD in total. Here's your order. Enjoy your meal. Welcome. Would you like to try our signature oyster omelet? Oh, I actually don't eat meat or seafood. Do you have any vegetarian options? Yes. We have vegetarian dumplings and a tofu-based hot pot. Both are very popular. That sounds great. I'll have the vegetarian dumplings, please. Excellent choice. That will be 100 NTD. Here you go. Enjoy. Welcome. Would you like to try our signature oyster omelet? Oh, I actually don't eat meat or seafood. Do you have any vegetarian options? Yes. We have vegetarian dumplings and a tofu-based hot pot. Both are very popular. That sounds great. I'll have the vegetarian dumplings, please. Excellent choice. That will be 100 NTD. Here you go. Enjoy. Excuse me, I've been waiting for quite a while. How much longer will it take for my order? Oh, I'm really sorry about the wait. We are extremely busy tonight. And there are several orders ahead of yours. Your food should be ready in about 10 more minutes. I see. I'm just a bit worried because I have other plans after this. Is there any way to get my order faster? I completely understand. Let me check with the kitchen and see if we can speed it up. Good news. We can prioritize your order. And it should be ready in 5 minutes. Would that be okay? Oh, that would be great. I really appreciate it. No problem at all. Here's a small snack for you while you wait. It's on the house. Thank you for your patience. Wow, that's very kind of you. Thank you so much. Excuse me, I've been waiting for quite a while. How much longer will it take for my order? Oh, I'm really sorry about the wait. We are extremely busy tonight. And there are several orders ahead of yours. Your food should be ready in about 10 more minutes. I see. I'm just a bit worried because I have other plans after this. Is there any way to get my order faster? I completely understand. Let me check with the kitchen and see if we can speed it up. Good news. We can prioritize your order. And it should be ready in 5 minutes. Would that be okay? Oh, that would be great. I really appreciate it. No problem at all. Here's a small snack for you while you wait. It's on the house. Thank you for your patience. Wow, that's very kind of you. Thank you so much.
接下来，让我们来总结一下今天的课程内容哦。今天模拟与角色的课程，我们练习了顾客服务情境、销售技巧以及跨文化的交流能力，帮助大家在不同的情景中更灵活的去运用英文表达。 我希望呢，这些实用的技能能成为你们与国际客户交流时的得力工具，也能提升你们的自信心。接下来的课程，我们将学习如何撰写双语文案。这是一项将语言应用与创意结合的重要技能。无论是推销产品，还是分享文化故事，优秀的文案能够吸引读者的注意力，并传递品牌的核心价值。期待与大家在下一堂课继续探索英文应用的更多可能性，好吗？那我们下堂课见了 ，See you next time， bye。